Good morning. And I'm wired. Everybody can hear me. 5 years and about 20 pounds ago, I first got invited to speak to this group. And for whatever reason, they keep inviting me back. So I'm very proud to be here. And with me today will be Sandy Skolichenko, and I have got to push the green button. Sandy works in our division, and she handles a lot of recycling and materials management, which most of you also report data back into our division on that, so we thought it would be a nice update for you to see those numbers as well. And she will be a part of the working group that is now being established on waste minimization, waste management. So it'll be the two of us talking today. I think hopefully you can read that. I can. So this is statewide numbers. We hit $1 billion. We're over 30% on statewide numbers. Great achievement. I love it. Thank you. Those are your numbers. They're not mine. I get to report them, but you're the ones that earned them. Unfortunately, everybody looked at that, and it came back and it was said, oh, gee, you did it. We'll just get rid of the program. And there was legislation, I don't know if it was the total intent, but it just about would have eliminated a lot of what we are charged with doing. And thanks to people here in the audience, it kind of died. So thank you to those that keep our program going. If we want to keep it going, we've got to keep driving our numbers down. For the universities, just shy of our 30% goal in energy reduction, while we have seen a 50% increase in our costs. So, as you have heard me say multiple times, be wary of saying that we're getting savings. What we are getting is avoided cost, because we can't reduce it as fast as the costs are going up. So, be aware of that. Our alligator chart, even though we weren't exactly at 30%, we are still on track to be at $2 billion saved by 2025, which I think is what Jed is really wanting to drive towards. Yes, now, we have no statutory mandate anymore. You got to do it on your own. You have to do it because you want to do it. And I'll throw a cautionary note out, because I think it's going to be up to the people in this room to make sure that when we start implementing our bond projects, all this new construction, if we bring energy hogs online, that goes away. The buildings we bring online, the new buildings we construct, must be far more energy efficient than what we have standing right now, or those numbers will not stand. So let's strive for it. You set the goal, I didn't. I was part of the group that debated it, but when the numbers were determined and you chose 40% by 2025, so we're well on our way, but it's up to you to get us there. I put this up, and I hope you can see, well, the top one that didn't show any of the numbers. The top is BTU distribution by fuel type, and that big blue portion of the pie is natural gas. So when we say we want to save energy, well, you go after natural gas. That's where your BTUs are. But I think when we say we want to save energy, what we're really referring to is that we want to save dollars. I think we want to save both, because we measure and calculate the efficiencies and the percentages on BTUs, but we also say what that is available and has done for us in the way of costs. Electricity is where we're spending our dollars, and that's where our rates are going to continue to go up. You know me, I love to throw something up that we can talk about. Cubicle kitchen, although this was in a closed office. On the right, you've got your mini fridge. Not an Energy Star mini fridge. This is one that if you put a kilowatt meter on there or something that measures the energy consumption and measure it for a week, that little mini fridge will use more energy than a full-sized Energy Star refrigerator. They're all over. And I'm not talking just about dorm rooms. They're all over all of our office spaces. Well, we can keep our food cool in our mini fridge, not efficiently, but we can keep it cool. So we've got to warm it up for lunch. So we've got a microwave. On the far right, we've got a backup microwave. Again, not an Energy Star appliance, something that was brought in from home. Well, when you pull your food out of the microwave, it's kind of soggy and limp, and, you want that sandwich to be crisp. So we've got a toaster oven. I've got one that has one extra item in there, a hot plate. But, this one was a little clearer, so I put this one up. So we can chill it, we can warm it up, we can crisp it up, and then we've got not one, but two coffee makers with the carafes. I don't know if you've ever walked through your buildings and looked at the coffee makers at about 11 o'clock in the morning. They're all still turned on, and there's about an inch of sludge in the bottom. Impossible to pour. The only way you're going to get it out is spoon it into your mouth. But it's still on and keeping it warm. The ideal thing about this picture is look where all that stuff is positioned, right under a thermostat. And then we complain about the building with hot and cold coils. How much money does it take to fix that? Not much. It takes a little bit of time. It takes all of us when we walk through a building to be aware. How often, how many times do we walk through the building and notice these things or say anything about them? I was on one campus and I was riding around with the facilities person and had to go pick up a check in the administration office. And he had been complaining about all the hot and cold calls that he had to take. We went in, and I'm standing there while he got his check, and I said, "This is one of your buildings that you get hot and cold calls in, right?" "Yeah." I said, "Well, why is the printer stand over there?" And I mean, it was a stack. All kinds of fans on it, blowing right onto a thermostat. He says, "Oh, we got to fix that." So he called up his crew, and they moved the printer stack. Right then, it didn't take much. Just move it away from the thermostat. While I was standing there watching his team work, I said, "That's not going to fix your total problem." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Well, look at where the coffee pot is." It was right under a thermostat. We all know what to look for, but because we walk our facilities and places and buildings day in and day out, we stop seeing the obvious. That's free money. You don't have to spend anything to fix that. So we need to work on that. The last thing I want to touch on is Mike O'Connor, when he was up here, was talking about his 90,000 data points they're collecting information on now. And I'm sure there are several other universities that collect information at that level, maybe even more. We become victims of analysis paralysis. We never seem to have enough information to make a decision and get started on something. Don't fall victim to that. Start your projects. Go out. Initiate a program to find all of those cubicle kitchens, to find all of that waste There's still a lot of it out there. Walk your campus at night and see what buildings are still lit up like Christmas trees, completely empty. Again, it takes some hours, it takes some time, but it doesn't take a great deal of money. I know what's happened to our budgets. Mine keeps getting clobbered. So, work on these things. Start and then go after continuous improvement. When we first started the UC program, for the first 4 years or so, every time I got in your reports, they always seemed to include, oh, we found another meter, or oh, we found another bill that we hadn't been recording. I had to go back and historically change all the numbers every year. Now, did I look like an idiot because I couldn't get the numbers right for the first year? I don't know. I look like an idiot all the time. I don't care. We wanted the numbers to be as correct and as right as they could be. And that's what we worked on. So we've been making continuous improvement in our program. We need to continue that. We need to move it forward. We don't need to spend great deals of money. We have the opportunity with our new construction to really drive some of those numbers down if we bring our buildings on in an efficient manner. Please do not allow energy efficiency to be value engineered out of our buildings. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the podium over to Sandy